Have you ever wondered if The Simpsons, yes, that chaotic, hilarious cartoon, could secretly be one of the greatest financial teachers of our time? It sounds crazy, I know, but what if I told you that hidden beneath the laughter, the absurdity, and the yellow skin is a blueprint for real, lasting wealth? Not just money in the bank, but the kind of wealth that buys freedom, peace of mind, and power over your own life. Stick with me, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's get something straight. The Simpsons isn't just a cartoon. It's a mirror of society, of human behavior, of how we handle, and often mishandle, money. And if you pay close attention, each character is more than a punchline. They're archetypes. They represent financial mindsets, the poor, the rich, the clueless, the visionary. And every time you watch an episode, you're not just being entertained. You're being shown who wins and who loses in the game of money. Now picture this: Homer Simpson, the lovable fool, stuck in the same dead-end job for decades, always broke, always complaining. He lives paycheck to paycheck, spends impulsively, avoids responsibility, and chases short-term pleasure. Sound familiar? Homer isn't just a character, he's a warning, a symbol of what happens when you drift through life financially asleep, reacting, never planning, always surviving. Then there's Mr. Burns, cold, calculating, filthy rich. You're meant to hate him. But maybe, just maybe, you should study him. Burns understands leverage. He owns assets, controls systems, and multiplies wealth while others trade time for dollars. He's not trading his life for a salary. He's printing his own economy. While Homer earns and spends, Burns owns and multiplies. And like it or not, wealth flows to ownership, not effort. Still not convinced? Let's talk about Lisa Simpson, the unshakable intellect. She's the voice of reason in a world of chaos. Lisa asks questions, she seeks knowledge, she invests in herself, and most importantly, she thinks long-term. Lisa's not caught up in status games or materialism. She represents financial consciousness. She's the investor, the planner, the one who's quietly setting herself up to win the game. Everyone else is too distracted to play. And then there's Marge, the quiet backbone. She budgets, sacrifices, and supports everyone, but often forgets herself. Marge represents the millions of people, especially women, who hold families together while carrying the weight of everyone else's bad decisions. There's wisdom in Marge, but also a cautionary tale. If you don't build your own financial safety net, someone else's chaos will always become your burden. Even side characters drop gems. Take Krusty the Clown, famous, rich on the outside but broke behind. The scene's due to poor management and terrible habits. He's the classic case of high income, low net worth. It's not about what you earn. It's about what you keep, grow, and protect. Krusty teaches us that wealth isn't flashy. It's quiet, disciplined, and strategic. So what's the point of all this? The Simpsons isn't just a cartoon, it's a classroom. And if you start watching it with new eyes, you'll start seeing the patterns, the difference between consumers and creators, spenders and investors, reactors and planners. You'll realize that every financial mistake you're making might have already been played out in Springfield and laughed at by millions. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You've probably been living more like Homer than you'd like to admit. You've been taught to work hard, follow rules, spend what you earn, and call it a life. But wealth, real wealth, it lives on the other side of that script. And The Simpsons, believe it or not, gives you the code to rewrite it if you're paying attention. So don't just watch another episode, decode it. Ask yourself, who do I want to be in this story? The exhausted worker with no time, the villain with a vault, the genius with a plan, or someone entirely new, built from the lessons hiding in plain sight? Because once you shift from passive viewer to active student, that's when everything starts to change. Bart is the rebel, the prankster, the natural-born risk-taker. In finance, he's the embodiment of hustle without a plan. The guy who jumps from idea to idea, chasing adrenaline instead of sustainability. He starts businesses, schemes for cash, tries every trending opportunity, but never commits to mastery. Bart teaches us something important. Energy without direction is just noise. You can hustle all day, but without systems, strategy, and long-term vision, you're just spinning your wheels, not building wealth. True freedom isn't found in the grind. It's found in structure that turns hustle into legacy. Mo owns his bar. On paper, he's a business owner, but in reality, he's just another tired employee, chained to the counter, drowning in responsibilities, working harder than everyone else with no clear way out. His bar doesn't serve him, he serves it. Mo's situation reflects millions of small business owners who confuse ownership with progress. But owning a job isn't the dream. The dream is owning a machine, one that grows without you, that buys back your time, that gives you choices. Mo's story is a warning. Don't build yourself a prettier prison. Build something that lets you walk away. Ned is the quiet storm. Disciplined, predictable, steady. He probably has an emergency fund, a debt-free house, and a will drafted in triplicate. While others chase quick wins, Ned builds slow wealth. He lives below his means, invests consistently, and stays true to his values. He's not flashy, but wealth rarely is. It's calm, intentional, rooted in principle. Ned reminds us that financial success isn't about brilliance or luck, it's about behavior, habits over hacks, patience over panic. And in a world full of noise, Ned's strategy is the one that actually works. Milhouse is sweet, loyal, completely unprepared. For the real world, he leans on others for emotional and financial support, always needing, never creating. He is what happens when financial dependency becomes a lifestyle. Milhouse teaches a painful but necessary truth. If you don't take control of your money, someone else will. And they won't always have your best interests at heart. Independence isn't just a goal, it's a survival skill, because dependency is a luxury you can't afford in a world that changes faster than ever. Chief Wiggum is bloated with power and completely unqualified to wield it. Lazy, inefficient, slow, yet somehow still in charge. He's the perfect metaphor for inflation, a force that takes more than it gives, dragging down everything around it. He doesn't fix problems, he creates new ones. And that's what inflation does too. Your savings. If your money's sitting in cash, you're watching it quietly decay while Wiggum guards the vault. The only defense. Invest in assets that outpace erosion. Because trusting inflation not to hurt you is like trusting Wiggum to save the day. Hopeless, Grandpa Simpson is full of stories and outdated advice. He talks about pensions, lifetime jobs, and the golden days of safe returns. His wisdom comes from a world that doesn't exist anymore. What once worked now keeps people stuck. He means well, but the truth is harsh. Playing today's financial game with yesterday's rules is a recipe for stagnation. The economy evolved, opportunity moved, and nostalgia won't pay the bills. To win today, you need to unlearn the past and embrace a future built on innovation, adaptability, and courage. Springfield is chaos. The mayor is corrupt, the school's falling apart, the power plant leaks danger, and no one seems to notice. It's ridiculous and uncomfortably familiar because Springfield is a mirror, a symbol of the broken systems we live in. But here's the truth. Waiting for the system to fix itself is a losing strategy. You can't depend on broken institutions to deliver you freedom. You have to build your own, create income streams, own your time, invest in assets that serve you, not bosses who drain you. The escape isn't out there, it's inside you. Krusty the Clown is laughter on the outside, chaos on the inside. He smiles for the cameras, puts on a show, but behind the curtain his finances are a mess. Overspending, bad investments, a trail of debt hidden beneath makeup and glitter. Krusty is the entrepreneur addicted to vanity metrics, likes over leads, fame over foundation. He reminds us that success without structure is a performance, and every act ends eventually. You can fool the audience, but your bank account sees everything. Behind every laugh there must be a ledger that makes sense. Then there's Apu, tireless, dutiful, awake when the world sleeps. He runs the Quickie Mart like his life depends on it, and maybe it does. He works hard, saves hard, and sacrifices constantly. But here's the question no one asks. At what cost? Apu teaches us the shadow side of hustle culture. Without boundaries, even ambition becomes slavery. Wealth isn't earned through exhaustion, it's built through clarity. If your business eats your life, it's not wealth, it's consumption. Build, yes, but don't bleed endlessly. Time is your greatest asset. Guard it like treasure. Lisa is brilliant, curious, analytical. She reads markets the way others read novels. But here's the thing, knowledge isn't enough. Lisa represents the investor who studies everything and still doesn't act. Paralysis by analysis, drowning in data. She forgets that the market rewards action, not perfection. Strategy without execution is a dream with no legs. You'll never predict every move, but you can move anyway. Don't wait to be certain. Move with intention, adjust with wisdom, and let experience teach what books cannot. Marge is loyal to a fault. She budgets, saves, and puts everyone else first. She's the silent CFO of the family, unthanked, unnoticed, but essential. Yet in her quest to care for others, she forgets to invest in herself. Marge symbolizes millions who carry the financial burdens of entire households. And here's the quiet danger. If you never prioritize your own financial independence, you'll always live in survival mode. You can't pour from an empty cup. Security starts when you give yourself permission to grow. Ralph Wiggum is sweet, innocent, completely unaware of the storm around him. He walks through crises with wide eyes, no clue what's coming next. Ralph is what happens when we choose ignorance over responsibility. In finance, ignorance isn't bliss, it's bankruptcy. The system is designed to distract you, to keep you passive. But your future demands attention. Learn, adapt, take responsibility, because if you don't drive, someone else will, and you might not like where they're taking you. Sideshow Bob is cunning, charismatic, dangerous. He plays the long game, sets traps, and always comes back. He is the scammer, the smooth-talking financial predator promising riches in days, selling dreams with venom behind the smile. He preys on desperation. He thrives on shortcuts. Bob reminds us, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Real wealth isn't made in a weekend. It's slow, boring, unsexy, but it's real. Don't chase illusions. Build foundations, because the faster the promise, the sharper the trap. Mr. Burns sits on a mountain of money, and yet he's poor in every way that matters. No love, no joy, no rest, just hoarding. He is the endgame of greed, unchecked. A man who won the money game but lost the soul game. Burns teaches that financial wealth without purpose is just elegant emptiness. Riches mean nothing if they don't buy you time, impact, or peace. So ask yourself, what are you building and who are you becoming in the process? The children of Springfield go to a school that's falling apart, led by people who've long given up. It's a metaphor, because this is how many of us learn about money, from broken systems, outdated texts, and people who never lived the reality they teach. No wonder so many grow up financially blind. But the blame game won't save you. Self-education is the rebellion. Financial literacy is the revolution. Don't wait to be taught. Teach yourself, and teach your children differently. The nuclear plant is still leaking. The mayor is still corrupt. Springfield is still spinning. But here's the twist. Amidst the madness, there's opportunity. Because in broken systems, those who wake up first get the keys. While others wait for change, you can be the change. Investing, building, escaping. You don't need a perfect world to create a better life, just clarity and courage. Wealth isn't a number, it's a state of mind. It's waking up with options. It's saying no without fear. It's having time to rest and power to choose. It's the difference between reacting to life and designing it. And you, my friend, are the architect of your future, not your boss, not the government, not the system. You. So let Springfield burn. You can build your own city, one where your money works for you, where your time is yours again, and where your story doesn't end in survival, but in sovereignty. Don't wait for rescue. Be your own revolution. If this message stirred something in you, even a flicker, don't let it fade. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment sharing what hit you hardest. Share it with that friend who needs to hear this today. And most importantly, go back and watch the other videos, because together they form the blueprint. The matrix is real, but so is your power to break it. Now go and build the life they said was impossible.